Hello there, and welcome to my new survival series where I am playing Minecraft 1.21. We're just gonna chop down this tree real quick and then we'll get to it. Alright, let's make our first crafting table, and then we're also going to make a bunch of sticks as well. Then let me make my first wood pick here, and then of course we're just gonna go straight down here and start mining some stone. I also see one of my favorite blocks, mushrooms. Let me just take those with me, and let me just mine a bunch of this stone. That way I can actually make a couple stone tools. I kind of like having all the tools with me because you never know what you're gonna need. And then we're gonna climb back up here to my crafting table. First of all, we'll make a stone pick, and now we're going to try to explore a little bit. I see some spruce over there. Spruce is the best wood, so I'm gonna run over and chop some down. Also, I see a nice village over there. I'm gonna have to raid that village as well. Get a bunch of good food and, early game stuff like beds and whatnot, and possibly trap some villagers for use for later. This is a really nice seed. I love it. There's so much area. I love plains for starting out, just because it gives you a free canvas where you don't really have to remove anything. You don't have to remove a lot of trees or anything to just start building something cool. A few things to discuss about this series while I come over here and grab some of this spruce wood is I'm going to try and do a very chill, relaxed series. I don't do a lot of huge builds. My favorite thing to do is small, detailed builds, as well as some cool world building. I like trying to make everything feel lived in and cool paths and trees and terrain and whatnot. I'm just going to finish chopping these trees down while I wait for some saplings. I like spruce trees early game because you can do the 2x2 trees, which just gives you so much more wood. And where's some saplings? I got one sapling. I'm already hungry, so we're gonna have to head to that village pretty soon here. Can I get like 4 to 5 saplings yet is what I want before we move on? There we go. There's 5 saplings. That should be enough. And then we're just gonna come over here and grab hopefully some food. I need some food. I see some pigs though, so those pigs are definitely going to be our first meal. There we go. Normally village like this has some furnaces or something else that I can cook the food in. You know what? You're all nicely in there, so I'm just gonna leave you guys alone. All right, cool, cool. And here's a villager. You know what? Actually, never mind. I need more food. Okay, let's cook up some of this food, and then I'm gonna go explore the village, and then we'll come back to that. See if I can find any chests with some goodies. I tend to take everything that I find. I am kind of a hoarder, but then I don't have to craft it later, even things like chests and whatnot. All right, what's in here? Another bed. I kind of like white better than blue. Unless I find a purple bed, I like purple beds the most. Ooh, a brewing stand. Very, very nice. I love brewing stands for decorating interiors. And I'm definitely not ready to go to the nether yet. So yeah, and another brewing stand. That's cool. And now we're back here. We got our cooked pork chops. And I think we're ready to go back to the other area that we were just at. I don't really prefer staying in the snow, so we're gonna kind of dip out of here real quick. Now we're just gonna head it over in this direction, back into a little bit more of the plains biome. I think I see some ore up in there, so maybe we can get some coal and whatnot. And it's our first night. I'm definitely not a fast player. I tend to play slow and steady. I'm not rushing this, and I'm just here to enjoy the gameplay. I also need some copper for what I'm thinking about building. This new update has a lot of new copper blocks, so of course I want to incorporate copper blocks into my build that I want to do. Copper is such a fantastic block because it has all the aging steps, so it's really not just one block, it's so many different blocks, and the gradients that you get between them all is also fantastic. Am I gonna sleep my first night in this little cave? Probably. I'm pretty scared in general, so I'm probably just gonna sleep most nights, unless I need some mob drops or something. And that's our first night. Ooh, I see some iron up in there. I think we're gonna have to take a look at getting some of this iron, because I could probably use an iron pickaxe in case I find any, nice blocks in the future. Let's just come up in here and grab this iron, and I can smelt it and make my first pick. I'm also gonna make a shield. A pick and a shield is always the first thing that I make with iron, because a shield early game is the way to go. And looks like I have the right amount as well. Let me just start smelting it here while I go mine the rest of the coal. And there we go. I could have used the blast furnace, but I'm lazy. We mined all the coal in all of this area right here, and from this vantage point you can really see how beautiful this seed is. I really love it. I see some cherry over there on that top of that cliff, and I think I see another village over there too. Also, this river is quite cool. I kind of want to build around this river here, I think. So we're going to go over there and take a closer look. First of all, let's make a iron pickaxe here with our new iron that we got, as well as a shield. And place that there, and let's be on our way. Yeah, this is really beautiful. Such a nice open wide place. I definitely think I want to start building here. My inventory is already full, so I think I'm just going to come over here to the edge of this water, and we're just going to place one of our chests down here and just throw a bunch of this stuff in here that we don't need at the moment. I think I want to build a raft here in the river. That way creepers can't come along and blow up all of your gear if you leave all the chests outside. While we wait for this tree to grow, let's go explore this village up here and possibly get some more goodies that we can use later on. This is kind of a pretty village area up here on the side of this hill. Also, I see a lot of flowers, so I wonder if this is a flower forest or not, but this will definitely come in handy later on when we're trying to find some dyes and whatnot, because there is a ton of flowers in here. Here we go, another village, and it's already almost day 2. Let's just take all these hay bales. Hay bales can be really nice for easy food later on. Blacksmith down here, nice. Yeah, some iron, cool. And now I have some basic iron gear. All right, and now that we're back here, let's just make a double chest and throw everything else. You know what, I could put the leather pants on. Some nice armor there. Let's just throw everything else in here besides the food. And our first tree grew, so let's go ahead and chop this all down, and then we'll get to building our little raft that we want to build. Alright, so I got a bunch of wood products here. We're gonna just come out here and start making this raft. I'm gonna just bring it a little bit away from the shore here. Just gonna use some temporary blocks to build out a little bit, and then we'll start the raft. I think out here is good. Gonna start by laying a bunch of these slabs down first. And we're just gonna put them on the top surface like this. Let's start by putting some chests here in the middle and sort of just piling them up like this, and maybe a couple barrels as well. Then I want to texture along the edge, and I'm just gonna add some campfires just to give it a little bit of texture and detail here. Let me put some of these trapdoors along the edge. This is kind of like a dilapidated raft. Not like a great raft or anything, but this will allow us to just keep our items a little bit safe while we're starting out here, not have any creepers or anything blow up on us. And there we go, we got a cute little raft in the middle of the river. There's plenty of storage on there to supply our needs at the moment. And now we're going to work on stocking up on some food and then going to get some gear. I was up here trying to kill rabbits so I can get some more rabbit hides so I can make some bundles. And over here, I see a jungle and acacia. So I think we're gonna go get some acacia wood and jungle wood later. And look what else I found over here. This is just on my way back to my area over here, and there's a ruined portal. So yeah, let's go over here and check out what's in this portal. Obsidian, a golden apple, a golden sword with looting, and boots with depth strider. You just break down these blocks because gold blocks, ouch. Gold blocks are going to be really useful later on, as well as these iron bars. Might as well take the iron bars too. Well, that was cool. We got a bunch of gold blocks, which will definitely come in useful later on when we're curing villagers. Gotta have those golden apples. And now it's nighttime and I'm sitting on my raft. Everything's around me trying to attack me. I want to kill some spiders so I can get some string for a couple things. A bundle as well as a fishing rod. I want to fish up a saddle so that I can go exploring with a horse or a donkey. But yeah, let's get this spider over here and try to keep out of too much trouble. Drop your string. Yes, 1 piece of string. Wow, there are so many mobs out here. That's actually quite scary. I just need a little bit more string. Just... Okay, I got 4 string now. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Here we are, back at our safe little place. This is why I built this raft, so that I'm a little bit safer from mobs. Very good. We survived the night. All right, we got 2 fishing rods now, and let's hope that we can actually get a saddle within 2 fishing rods. Honestly, I really like fishing early game. It's kind of relaxing. Just put on some music and watch the bobber wait for some fish. Especially exciting when you really get something great, where you can upgrade your rod, or you never know, you might get a mending book. And there we go, our first fish. And we get a puffer fish. Very nice. Let's try and get a saddle now. All right, so we did a small amount of fishing here. Yeah, it was kind of fun. I kind of enjoyed it. This is what we got. And I got a saddle. I also went and got a bunch of rabbits and made a bundle. I did enable bundles for this world. I'd never played with them before, and I thought that would be kind of fun. So now I'm going to tame a meal, I believe, because I want to be able to put chests on it. And then we're going to go exploring. All right, let's see if this thing actually allows us to tame it. First try, second try, third try. He really hates us. There we go. Cool, excellent. To start out with, I think we're gonna go over here to the jungle and get some jungle wood as well as some bamboo. I really like bamboo scaffolding. The new bamboo wood is also fantastic. I guess it's not quite so new, but I have not really played a lot of survival since bamboo came out. So I'm looking forward to building with it. And while we're here, I guess we'll just get a couple saplings from these acacia trees as well. The goal is to have all of the tree types very readily available to us, and so far we have quite a few of them. There's quite a few biomes all around here. All right, let's go over here. We can also get some vines, maybe some melons too. Cocoa beans. I didn't even think about cocoa beans, so that'll be great. Here we are, but jungles are a bit hard to ride through, so I'm just gonna come over here and leave him over here. Maybe I'm just gonna dig a little pit so he doesn't stray or anything, and we'll be right back. Don't worry about us. All right, so we got bamboo. That's great. And the saplings can be a little bit hard to get from these jungle trees. They drop a lot less than a lot of other trees, so we might just chop a few down. All right, so we have 9 saplings, some cocoa beans, as well as some bamboo. So I think we're all set here at the jungle. And if I ever want to come back and get some more stuff, it's actually pretty close. Now let's go get our donkey here, and we'll be on our way. Come on. Can you get out of the hole? Does it have to be too wide for you to get out of the hole? All right, there we go. Now the next items I want to find is I would need a lush cave because I need moss. And then the other thing I would like is some dark oak. So let's go look for a lush cave. It could take a little bit of time, but all we need is to find an azalea tree on the top. And we'll be able to find a nice lush cave. Ooh, and here we found some dark oak. Oh, let's go. I'm excited for that. Also some more mushrooms. That is fantastic. I'm just gonna chop a bunch down until I get enough saplings that I'm happy with, and then we'll continue to find a lush cave. All right, now I also have 9 dark oak saplings. Also just get some more mushrooms. I just realized if I want to use this block, I'm gonna need to have silk touch. So I might need to roll one of the villagers. This is a really beautiful taiga. I might even just stop and get just a handful of this mossy cobble. You can never have too much mossy cobble in your life. Also maybe a dead bush. Do I have a shears? Yes, I do. Dead bush always comes in handy as well as ferns. Ferns are cool, so I'm just gonna get a few of these ferns too. So let's stick some of this stuff here in the donkey's inventory. This is why I brought a donkey along, because I know I needed a lot of stuff. And just like that, I see an azalea tree over there, which means we found a lush cave. We're going to get rooted dirt, moss, and all the other amazing things from Lush Caves. I'm just gonna gather a few of these leaves, and then we're gonna dig down and try and find the cave. And here we are. This is a really beautiful Lush cave. It even has all the mine shaft systems in here with the chains going up to the ceiling, and we should be able to get a lot of resources from here, probably more than what we could even fit in our inventory. But we might actually have to come back here later and just... Oh! And we have a witch trying to murder us. Come on. There we go. But yeah, before she rudely interrupted us, we'll probably just come back here with an empty guy and fill up with just moss and also all the clay, because clay is going to be able to make some terracotta, because I want some terracotta for the build that I want to do. Just going to take this iron, and then we're going to gather up all the resources before heading back to our base. And we're back in our home valley. This place is such a beautiful place. I cannot wait to transform it. Excuse me, you interrupted me. Now that we have a bunch of materials gathered, I think it's time to lay out where we're going to build this house. I think over here is a good location, but I think I'm going to take down this layer of dirt by 1 block, and then we'll go ahead and start laying it out. Whenever I build, I like to just start blocking things out with some basic blocks, and then we start just trying to fit it together. I'm gonna do 2 squares, I think. So let me just come out like this, something like that. I'm thinking the main house would be right here, and this shape may change later. We're just trying to get it on the ground, and then we can sort of figure out what works after we get it settled here. So this would be kind of like an entrance maybe right here. I could put like a door right here, could walk in here, and then in here would be the main house. But yeah, I sort of like what we're doing here, and I don't have tough blocks yet, but I need to get tough blocks because the new tough blocks are amazing, and I want to use them for the foundation here instead of cobblestone. So the cobblestone is kind of just a placeholder until we find the tough blocks. But yeah, I'm gonna come over here and just sort of try and envision this area and see if I like where the house is. I think it looks pretty cool. This is kind of a cool this is actually really cool terrain back here. I've been sitting here thinking some kind of a cool little castle. Not super big, but eventually maybe in the future a small castle up there where that village is, with some like trees on either side. The terrain is already like coming down here, so it could be a little path. So that's sort of what I'm thinking, but you never know what happens. Anyway, now that we got this out of the way, let's go get some tough blocks, some calcite blocks, maybe a diamond or 2, just depending. I'm already level 30, so I kind of want an enchanting area just so that I can possibly enchant a pick or something, or an axe to get silk touch so that I can get mushroom blocks and some other items with silk touch. Before we go, I'm gonna just make myself some iron leggings and an iron chest plate with some of the iron that I've gathered, and we're just gonna put that on. That way I am slightly more protected than I was before. And now we're gonna just go and try and find a cave opening to go get some more blocks. I believe there's a big opening of a cave over here that would probably make a nice place to start. Just make sure I got my water bucket and everything else before we enter this cave. This could definitely be a bit of an interesting experience. Let's see what we got down here. I'm going to be taking lots of copper because I want to add copper and moss to the roof I want to build on the house. I think copper and moss make a really great block together. And with all the new copper blocks, there's going to be lots of opportunity to use copper in this series. This is a pretty massive cave down here, so I hope that it can take me the whole way down to deep slate level. That way I can get some tough and whatnot. We finally made it down to the deep slate area, so we should be able to find some tough here as well. Let's see here. I don't see any yet. We're just going to keep following this down and see how far we can get down. Oh! And there we go. I see our first diamonds down here. All right, that's exciting. I always like getting the first diamonds. It's not something I was planning, but we'll see what we can get. There's also some tough right there. Not sure how many there are. Probably only 2 here. Looks like a 2 vein. Cool, enough for an enchanting table, which would be great. All right, so let's just mine a bunch of tuff now. I need a bunch, so we'll get to it. Get a couple stacks of tuff right here. Our inventory is now full, so we're just gonna head out of the cave and come back again and try to find some calcite later. And what do I see here? Some calcite. I'm just gonna throw a couple of these things away here and try to get a little bit of calcite here on my way out. I don't need a bunch, just a couple stacks. All right, I demoed this thing pretty hard. I don't even have any more room to carry any more calcite, but I got 4 stacks, so we should be good to go for a while. So this is the first time I've actually seen any of the new tuff blocks in game. I just want to make one of each type just to look at here. So that, and that. And then you also get this cool little swirled pattern on the top. My favorite though is I really like this tile. That is such a fantastic top block. Great for floors, integrating it with the brick there, and then you get the really smooth tuff block as well. That is just fantastic. This one's a little challenging, but that would be great for like pillars and whatnot. But I can see this block right here being a favorite of mine, and then of course the bricks and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the bottom of this foundation then out of tuff. And probably just using these 3 blocks right here, maybe a little bit of that. Not sure I'm going to use that in the foundation. It's a little bit too cut out and chiseled, but yeah, that is really exciting. I'm really looking forward to using the new tuff blocks. I ended up making the house just a little bit smaller and filling in all this foundation with the new tuff blocks. I think it looks pretty cool, and I'm excited to continue with it. There are a couple things that I need before that. Mainly, I want silk touch, and I'm also going to have to grind out a bunch of bone blocks. So I might try and find a skeleton spawner, and then a mossy green roof for this build. I think it's going to look pretty cool then. Anyway, to catch you up with what I've been doing, I've been mining at around Y level 15 looking for iron, and you get so much copper. It's actually insane. I got a Fortune 3 pickaxe on my enchanting setup, which I'll show you shortly. But yeah, I'll show you the skelly spawner that I made over here. And also I put a little bit of an enchanting setup by it as well. I've been aging all my copper over here, just trying to get it nice and green. I prefer to put it on the roof already mostly aged. That way I can just place it and it looks exactly like I want it. Then I come along and wax it. But yeah, right here is the entrance to my spawner. Just come down this ladder here, and this is what it looks like down here on the bottom. It's not a one-hit skelly spawner, so it takes a bit of time to kill them, but I needed bones, so that's just what I did. Then any XP levels I get, I just use over here at this enchanting table when I get to level 30. My goal when decorating this was just to use all the new tuff and copper blocks, which I think it kind of came together nicely. These haven't aged completely as well as these over here, and I'd probably put a different light source back there, like a block, if I actually had it, but torches will do for now. And this is a level 30 enchanting setup, so it kind of works cool. I like it. Short, sweet, and this is where I put all the stuff. I probably spent a good amount of time down here. It's kind of relaxing to just chop away at them too when you got nothing else to do. I'm trying to take this series super slow, so I used the 2 diamonds that I got mining for that enchanting setup, but I'm going to try and keep the diamond gear for later on in the series, just to slow myself down and enjoy the early game. I also got myself a silk touch iron axe, which I'm going to use to mine up some mushroom stems, and then I think we're ready to start the build. So anytime I do a build, I always like to lay out the blocks that I want to use for the build in different sections. So this is going to be the roof section, this is going to be the wall section, and then this is just going to be some trim, and I kind of want to use some wood, maybe do some wooden walls or something. I'm not sure yet. And this right here is going to be mostly white, but I want to use these colors right here for the shadows and possibly some dirty parts of the build, just to make it feel worn and run down. And then this over here, we're going to put some grass and whatnot on the roof with some leaves to really give it a good feeling. So now I'm going to go ahead and start laying out the builds on here, and yeah, we're going to get started with that. A lot of times I like to use 2 blocks or 3 blocks, 1 block for the foundation, 1 block for the wall, and then 1 block for the roof, just to get a shape in, and then I'll come back in and texture it later. Now you get an idea of what I'm going for here with the shape. Now I want to get in some roof shapes. I think I want to do a roof like that, and then maybe this roof in the opposite direction, just to give it some character. I think that curve looks pretty nice there. Goes up from 1 block, then you got 2 blocks, then 3 at the top. I'm gonna just repeat the same thing over here. And now that the top section is done, let's do this bottom section. I really like that shape, and now I think I'm gonna start adding a bit more detail, and we're gonna get this build going. So now I got most of this house all detailed. I'm not completely happy with this side over here though, so I think I'm gonna build some kind of a lean-to roof or something coming out here. But I really like how this house is coming out, and I think it turned out quite nicely. And we have all these bamboo doors and trap doors here, which I absolutely love. And this is the completed side here. I even tried to make it actually usable and built a little smelter in here. You just put items up in that those barrels, and then they go down through the hoppers. You can also put fuel back in these barrels, smelts in these furnaces, and then comes down in that chest. It's not like ultra amazing, but it's really great early game to just stick things in and it auto feeds through while I'm just doing other things. So this is pretty cool, and it's a usable space, and I really like how it turned out. Just made a little lampstand here. I also did a little bit of terraforming, just added some brush and shrubbery around the area, built a little path here. I don't want to get too crazy with the paths or trees or anything yet, because I'm not sure what I'm going to be laying out around it. So we'll for sure get to that in the upcoming episodes. But the inside is still one big open area, and I want to finish it out a little bit. The walls look pretty gross. They don't look so great in here. I didn't texture that properly. Plus, I think I'm going to add an extra layer here on the inside, probably some terracotta or something, and do at least 2 or 3 floors, and then finish out this entrance as well. Put a fireplace in here so it actually attaches to the chimney. So that's what I'm going to be working on next. Okay, so I blocked out the inside a bit and just added things on the ceiling to make it so that we couldn't see the moss. And then in here, I tried to cover up all the walls. And then I did green terracotta for the walls, some composters along the bottom, bookshelves for all the books that we're going to have and need, and then made a little fireplace. This is still very undetailed. I need to add all the interior cool things yet. And then I also did the same thing up here. Just blocked it out, and now we need to add all the furniture and all the finishing details. And that is the house complete. I think now I'm gonna take my mule over here and just tie it up outside of this little furnace area, and just keep it here until I find a better spot for him in the future. And you can just sit there very happily outside. And now I'm going to show you a little bit of a tour on the finished interior. First, you walk up the door, you can open that. I really love the new bamboo trapdoors and doors. I think they look really fantastic. Then you come inside to a little storage area, some smokers and a furnace, more storage with all the barrels and whatnot. I really like this little area right here. Then we come through here to the main area. You got a little table. Put some cobwebs up there in the corner, a nice fireplace. Come around this corner right here to a little kitchen area, which I turned into a brewing area. So this is where I'll brew all my potions and whatnot. More storage right here. Of course, more storage in these barrels. Then we take this ladder up here to the top section where there's a nice desk right here. I'm gonna probably put some details and some coordinates and other things in that book. Just cool things for this world. And we got a nice bed there, a bell, some more storage, just a lot of storage up here as well. And then on each end, you can climb up this ladder to a little bit of the bulk storage, things that I might not need on a regular basis. And I put the same thing up over there. And I think this turned out very cute and fantastic. I hope you like it. And that is the completed house. I hope you enjoyed this first episode. I'm really looking forward to the next part where we can build more builds and continue to grow this world together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.